Join Gator great Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
It is a live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. Family owned and operated with the largest selection of natural diamond jewelry, the only diamond and jewelry partner of the Florida Gators. You can get them right there in Celebration Point. Today's program, we'll have JC, we'll have Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. We'll get his thoughts I think Scott's been out to practice a few times while they're in shorts and good stuff like that. Congratulations to Cam Young, gets his first win. He's the 1,000th winner in the history of the PGA Tour. JC?
Yeah.
Are you going to be the 2,000 winner?
Doubtful, but
you'll be dead by then, JC.
Right. It's taken a long time to get there, but it's also taken Cam Young a long time to get there. He's had 7 runner-ups and a couple of those runner-ups in majors. And I think he's really trying to make a push for the Ryder Cup. He's obviously very comfortable playing in Greensboro or wherever that is, close to where he played his college golf, and I was very happy to see it. He's he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but you could tell he was really choked up when he finally finished on number 18. He shot 22 under par, almost tied a record.
He played terrible in the back nine, though.
I mean, he made 2 bogeys, but he did enough on the front in both Saturday and Sunday to really kind of separate himself, and then the other guys chasing him were just too far behind, and the guy he played with yesterday, Echevarria, he just collapsed on the back nine. Some bad chips, bad putts, and you could tell he had thrown in the towel. So good for Cameron Young, gets his first win. Another first-time winner on tour. We've had a lot of them this year. That's what makes this tour so good, is just because of how spread out the talent is. It is everywhere on that tour. It is the only tour to watch, and I think clearly that the Americans have a real shot with some of these players in the Ryder Cup. I hope their brains don't blow up because of the situation, because I don't think that situation is too big for the Euros, but I think the Americans are just more talented across the board. So hopefully that Ryder Cup in a little over a month and a half will go well.
Who finished higher with our picks, JC?
Well, we really didn't have anybody in this one. I did have Ben Griffin and Harry Hall.
Sungjae Im was like in the league, I think, going into Saturday.
Sungjae was a factor, in the early rounds. But you had Bradley, Fitzpatrick, Thorpe Jordan, Kitayama, and Im. I came in with Knapp, Griffin, Hall, Gerard, and Gracerman. And that's okay. I had picked Cameron Young a couple times earlier this year. After the first round is when I make my picks for this tournament. And I did get Cameron Young at 20-1, along with 4 other guys. And at no worse than 20-1, so it was a good weekend, as far as I'm concerned, because I saw him birdie in those holes, and I thought, oh, you know what? He loves this course. He loves playing in this area, and I think it's about time he won. So that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. On YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, Old Bass says, Shane, is it true you refused a ride when it was raining because it would violate some sort of pay-for-play rule?
What?
No idea what he's referring to.
A ride?
I don't know what he's talking about.
What were you riding, QB?
I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea what that question means.
A golf cart?
It could be golf. It could be in a car. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well,
Zero.
He'll have to clarify.
Brandon says Hurston got the win yesterday for the Braves. Yeah, you had 2. Didn't Brady Singer pitch in that game too?
Yeah, for the Reds. Brady Singer threw for the Reds.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's what the weekend brought to me in baseball. The Miami Marlins swept the Yankees. First time in history.
How about that, JC?
I don't think Aaron Boone is the answer.
Is Aaron Boone playing? Is all I got to say.
No, either he's not the answer, or Brian Cashman is just lost. I mean, they made some moves at the trade deadline. Not one of them was worthy of mention, and they all actually contributed to a loss. Each one of those new additions contributed to a loss. I think it was on Saturday. So, they had 30,000 fans show up in that baseball park in Miami, probably the first time it's happened in 5 years. I'm sure half the place was New York Yankee fans, but they saw the Marlins smack them around. And it's really starting to become clear to me that the Red Sox are the team in the East that you should be concerned about if you're looking at it. The Yankees are going to slip away into obscurity, which pains me to no end, but I just hate the way they run that team right now. And I think Cashman is another guy who maybe seen his better days. I'm down on. I think the Tigers and the Brewers and the Phillies and the Dodgers, and that's about right now. Those are the teams.
A few weeks ago, you said the Houston Astros were your pick.
Absolutely, the Astros, and then
I saw they lost like 7 in a row.
Yeah, they've hit some tough times, but they still have the pitching. I think that's going to get them through, but maybe not. Maybe not. Baseball is really that way, isn't it? It runs hot and cold.
Obviously, the Brewers are playing well since you're wearing their hat.
They are playing great baseball, just blowing out everybody. And the Tigers, Tigers lost 2 or 3 to Philadelphia. But Charlie Morton's found a new place to pitch, and if they had gotten him any run support, he would have pitched well enough to win. Charlie Morton, the former Braves pitcher, who then got traded.
Charlie Morton seems like he's been playing forever.
Been playing forever. He sure has. Can you name, QB, 3 players on the Detroit Tigers?
Scoble.
Tarek Skubal. Yep.
Scoble, however, the pitcher.
Mm-hmm. All right, you did
Trammell.
good. You did good. No, Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell are gone. There's
I named their best player.
Torkelson. Now, I listen. Some of these teams, I don't know some of these players on the Brewers.
I know,
can tell you 3 players on the Brewers.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, back to Old Bast. He says, legend has it there was a rumor you were walking home from practice in the rain, which, first of all, that I lived in the dorm, so I just walked right upstairs. And refused a car ride. Must be bad insider info from a family member who went to UF when you were there. Yeah, bad info.
Well, maybe he was thinking of when you guys were practicing across the street by the O'Connell Center. I don't know. Walk to practice.
Well, first of all, if we were practicing in the rain, practice would have been canceled.
Exactly.
Because Coach didn't like the rain either, and we'd have an indoor. So if it got bad weather, he'd say, "See y'all tomorrow," and we'd run in. So I don't know what that's all about. Text on the Titan Tomorrow text line. This is from Josh and Wamama. QB, you attending any fall camp practices? Anything in your opinion you like from the team besides the QBs? I have not been to any practice. I will not go to practice until they put pads on. Practicing in shorts does nothing for me. And I was out of town, so I'll try to get by there this week. But Scott Carter's been out there. We'll see what Scott says. But
I bet you he says that
DJ's limited. DJ's practicing, which is a good thing, but I think he's limited just to individual stuff, not any team activity. But we'll get Scott.
Ask him if he's seen anything that Harrison Bailey's done of note, which I don't know what you could do in shorts, but ask him how much he sees.
Well, if he could throw the football, that's
yeah.
Nothing matters until you play in a game, right?
I mean, it really doesn't. Hopefully, he'll throw it to the team in the blue shirts.
I think DJ will be okay.
Yeah, well, he better. But it's funny. Even if he is limited in practice, if he ramps it up a couple weeks before the first game in pads, running around looking like normal, then all of this worry has been for naught. That's what I talked about.
He won't. I still don't think he'll be 100% when the game starts.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that they're not playing Miami in the first week.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be 100% the entire year. Text on the Titan Tomorrow text line. I don't know who this is from. Rick in Jupiter says, "Did you see that mess in Bristol? Looks like that experiment failed." Well, the weather screwed everything up.
It does.
I thought it was pretty cool. I saw some clips of it during the rain delay. I guess that was Saturday night, and then I guess they ran out of food.
Yeah.
So it was a mess.
Well, it does. I don't understand the real attraction of it all. It's just a baseball field that they blocked off in the inside of a racetrack.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, quite honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad for the Brave fans. Yeah. I mean, the Brave fans don't really have much to get excited about right now.
Neither do the Yankee fans, do they?
That's a fact. And I'm not excited.
How about your? What other teams do you like, JC? That have no.
The what?
They have no chance this year. What other teams? Do you like?
I kind of like the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League. I think their hat is cool. It's the first hat I ever wore as a youngster, and I've always I've always thought highly of the of the Texas Rangers. I think they've got a shot, but they're not consistent hitting the ball. And I did watch some Wyatt Langford over the weekend. But you can't lose 2 out of 3 games in these series to the Angels and the Mariners and be considered serious. Now, nobody wants to play the Texas Rangers in a 3-game series when you've got Jake DeGrom and Nathan Eovaldi looking at you in the first 2 games. That's not fun. So, but again, what good are those pitchers if their guys aren't scoring runs? So,
text from Johnny in Lake City says, I'm very encouraged about our talent and depth.
yeah.
Linebacker, we have a guy like Jaden Robinson, seems forgotten because of the depth of the position. He was the 2nd leading tackler on the team last year. He's a local guy. I watched him play in high school. Would love for him to get more recognition. Speaking to his high school coach the other day, he told me NFL scouts are already taking interest in him. Yeah. Jaden Robinson, good player. He flies around. I like the way he plays. He's a Columbia Tiger.
Columbia Tigers, a football factory in North Florida.
It's kind of,
It used to be.
I don't want to say it's taken a step back the last few years, but it hadn't been the same. But I think
Right.
they'll be back.
10 years ago, boy, they were trouble. They were trouble. Lots of juniors and seniors on this roster, QB. I kind of like that, especially on the defensive side, and a lot of new players. I tell you, I love this. I think this is going to be the Florida team I think fans have been waiting for years, only because if they're healthy, this is some exciting looking players out there. I just looking at the videos, you can tell that they look pretty. They look like SEC type caliber players. They look like guys that could hop to the next level. Now, can they play like that?
Joseph says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, who wears a boot for less than a week? It's a waste of time talking about Gator football because it's nothing but smoke and mirrors. Every story contradicts the previous story.
Well,
maybe DJ wanted to be Willis Reed.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to hobble around out there and be a hero. I don't know, man. I think he's going to he's going to be fine. Like you said, he's going to be fine. Maybe not 100%, but maybe an 80%.
He's going to be hurt all year.
Well,
there's a difference between being hurt and being injured.
Yeah.
If anybody in their lifetime ever tells you that football players don't play hurt, they're crazy.
So what was the reason why he didn't get his shoulder worked on after the year?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that, JC. I'm not in his camp.
No, but we have roving reporters out there that can always ask questions. I just hate.
Do you think they're going to give an honest answer?
Well, no, but hey, dude. So, I can form a question for it, but I guess it's just different today. You were talking about media day the other day.
Well, JC, why don't you get credentials and start going to the press conference?
Well, someone's got to hire me to get the credentials.
All I got to do is give you a PodUp with Matthews in the morning credential, and you can go with your microphone and stick it in Billy's face.
Maybe, and that's how it was. That's what Coach Spurrier would come out into the south end zone. All right, let's get the local guys. Let's take care of the local guys first. And it was easy, man. It was so easy. Gosh, it just seems so, I don't know, controlled right now. And I guess that's what they want. I don't know why. I wouldn't want that. I'd want to tell everybody what's going on. Maybe
this question on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, says, who does Coach Spurrier's impersonation the best?
Oh, well, I think I liked when Travis McGriff was telling stories about him.
Well, not so much the stories, but who?
Oh, well, I think we've got to get James Bates in there. Top
Bates does, but Bates kind of.
I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's got the way he forms the stories. It even if it doesn't sound verbatim, Coach Spurrier, he can make you think of the old ball coach. But right now it's Billy Napier's turn, and I don't know who would want to imitate.
Did you just call him the old ball coach, JC?
The old ball coach.
Oh, he will raise hell if he heard that. If Coach is listening right now,
he's not the old ball. He's not the old ball coach.
Head ball coach. It ain't old. It ain't OLE like Ole Miss or OLD. It's head ball coach.
That's Spurrier?
Yes.
But he's not the head ball coach.
Well, he is not the old ball coach or the old ball coach.
When did that change?
It's always been that way.
Oh, okay. Well, why does he?
They're wrong. They're wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
they're wrong.
Well, I've heard the media say that.
They're wrong. So he probably calls them up and tells them they're wrong.
I won't lose any sleep over it, but thanks for the disclaimer. I just know that it would be really cool if somebody once in a while was able to imitate Billy Napier. But like, who the hell's going to imitate Billy Napier? He doesn't talk to anybody except his little circle. So
Billy, if you want to imitate Billy, imitate Nick Saban. They're the same guy at the podium.
you think
They do the same. They say the same stuff.
I've seen Nick
Complimentary
Saban,
football.
I have seen Nick Saban lose his mind in front of the
Billy's
media
never going to lose his mind.
year over. So they're not the same. So Nick
I'm
Saban,
saying their mannerisms and the things they talk about usually.
okay, well,
Yeah.
Let's get some of the similarities on the field. How about that?
Tony says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Coach is sitting in the lobby at the credit union right now, and he's pissed at JC. All right, this day in sports brought to you
That right there was the best part of this show today.
no doubt.
Well,
Can I get to the Campus USA Credit Union play of the day
yes,
or this day in sports?
please,
It's not the play of the day. But listen to this, JC. This is very interesting. You learn stuff on this program.
no doubt.
Have you ever heard of Joel Youngblood?
Yeah,
You have?
yeah.
Who do you play for?
Joel Youngblood
So you
played.
don't know.
Oh, Jim Youngblood. Sorry, I've heard of Jim Youngblood. That was the Rams linebacker.
1982 outfielder Joel Youngblood.
Oh, the Mets. The Mets.
Is the only Major League Baseball player to get hits for two different teams in two different cities on the same day.
Wow.
He had a single for the Mets in a Chicago day game,
So I did hear
got
that.
traded that night, then singled for the Expos in Philadelphia in the night game.
That is so cool. I did know he played for the Mets, as I just said.
Well, there. How about that stat?
But that is
Never happened before and probably never will again.
wow. That is unbelievable. Yeah. Well, that's a good one. You finally found a good one.
I finally found a good
Yeah,
one.
on this
You see any
day.
other,
Well,
this day in
sometimes when
sports
you
aren't
go
great?
back to the 19th century, we're really it's over our head.
I love those.
You do?
I do love
Well,
them.
yeah, no, I like that one. That was good. Captain Trash says hello from the Panhandle. Let's see. David says Napier's impression is like watching paint dry. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see a very happy coach this year. Who knows? After the game.
On the Titan our text line, Alberto in Miami Lakes. Could the Gators play any neutral site games at Gulfstream Park? Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Love the show.
Well, thank you for watching. And, there's a lot of Florida folks down there in South Florida. We have one here, Barone, who watches every day. Love Barone. And M31 Burr is another one of our loyalists. But I think Barone's the one that's down there in South Florida. And, talking about Marlins fans being like Hurricane fans, I think that's just the area. That's the demographic. They get in your face when they win, and they disappear like roaches when they lose. And so I'm really excited to see what Miami's got to present this year with Carson Beck. I'm not excited to see it, but I'm curious about it. And, we've got Florida State with their new kid over there. And then, of course, this team here, Scott Frost is at UCF. And nobody's talking about USF, but they've got a bunch of pretty hungry players down there. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Electronics World Integration Design Specialist for Smart Home Automation and Entertainment.
Yeah.
Affordable local installation, service, and support. Check them out, electronicsworld.net.
Yeah.
We got JC now.
I'm looking at
our hotline. We'll have Scott Carter, second portion of today's program. JC, we got a text here on the Titan MR text line from Larry. Larry wants to know, what is the betting line on Miami and Notre Dame?
Well,
they play week 1?
No, did they? No. Maybe they do. You know what? Maybe they do. Let me look that up. I'll say this: the first weekend here in about just over 20 some odd days is going to be spectacular to watch. And if I can just find my ACC portion of this Athlon's book, I'll be a happier person, because there's so much crap in here that I don't care about, but they do cover everybody. So give me a minute. I want to get that, because I did look at the Big 12 conference over the weekend. I was reading about the Big 12 conference. You've got 8 teams that could win that. Think about that. So here we go into the Atlantic Coast Conference, and you do have Notre Dame on August 31st, and they'll have the game basically to themselves on that day because everybody else is playing on the 30th. So, yeah.
It's a Sunday night?
And it's in South Florida. Those Irish boys are going to be dropping
I think no. I think Notre Dame's going to beat the hell out of them.
They're probably, maybe, but they're going to be. It's not Indiana, okay? Although Indiana, I'm sure right now is very hot. Because I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago. It wasn't that bad, but before I'd gotten there, those people said they were dropping like flies because it hit 90 degrees. So if they're worried about 90 degrees in Chicago, wow. Well, that's that makes me laugh. But here's a team. I'm going to give you a couple sleepers while we're at it, because I know Florida is thought of to be a very exciting possibility this year in the SEC. But watch for Georgia Tech in the ACC with Haynes King and that coach, Brent Peace.
I'm going to tell you right now, Clemson is going to destroy everybody in the ACC.
Oh, they probably will. But I'm just giving you – I mean, because anybody can say that and not sound like they're –
Well, I think Georgia Tech's the second best team. I think Georgia Tech and Miami will come in second and third. I kind of like Louisville and SMU too. And I think – I forgot about them. But they're not – Clemson's head and shoulders above everybody, in my opinion.
Well, I think Georgia Tech is going to be a team to keep your eye on in that league. And in the Big 12, they are going all in at Texas Tech. The amount of money they have spent, the amount of players they're bringing in and paying for, they are changing the way they do business there, and they've got the money to do it there. I also think you could get excited about, if you care, Baylor. I think Baylor. You know who they play the first weekend, QB? Baylor Bears
play the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah. How about that? This first weekend is going to be just wonderful. And then everybody's going to overreact when they see the results, and they're going to start making formulated opinions about that season that these teams who win or lose are going to have based on that first game, and probably none of it will come true. But in the Big Ten, I'm excited about Nebraska. I think Rayola is going to be pretty good. I think, Dana Holgerson calling the plays again this year for them is going to give them the continuity where they could be a little bit more exciting this year to watch too. Over in the Big 18 conference, Big 18. So Nebraska is the team I'd watch for. But the clear cut team in the Big 18 is not Ohio State, it's Penn State this year. When you look at the roster and all the teams that they had, I did some of this over the weekend, QB, while you were hitting the golf ball about 96 times on the golf course.
96 times.
I
played good this weekend, by the way.
Seniors everywhere at Penn State, juniors and seniors, and two of the best running backs all back with that quarterback at Penn State. If Franklin can't get it done this year, he'll never do it there. How about that?
Yeah, it's a big year for Penn State, no question about that. QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief, no surgery, drugs, or downtime. Schedule your free consultation at QC Kinetics.
I don't know, QB. I've been getting word on the street that the QB's game here the other day was rare.
Well, I shot 78 at Adena with 3 double bogeys.
Okay. Well, I won't get into rumors then, but.
Well, it's just like these rumors about me walking from in the rain at the parking lot. I can show you the scorecard.
That's funny. Well, I don't know. I think Illinois can be a team that scares some folks, man. I think Illinois can be a team that scares some folks. They open with a pretty easy schedule before they play at Nebraska. They open with Western Illinois, but then they play at Duke. I just love some of these interconference matchups that we're getting with schools crossing over into other leagues and playing. And I really wish the SEC would do more of that. But I understand that the SEC is trying to debate whether or not they want to go to 9 games, and that's just going to make the schedule tougher. So we'll see what they do. But this LSU and Clemson game is clearly the highlight. That's the biggest game. That's, SEC, ACC. You've got 2 SEC, ACC games off the top of my head, Clemson, LSU, and Alabama, FSU, right? So, those are the – we'll see if the SEC – look, we all love the SEC, right? They need to win both those.
Speaking of the National Football, Andy wants to know our thoughts on the Michael Parsons issue in Dallas. I haven't followed it closely, but what's going on, JC? You're a Cowboys fan too.
So they have, and they they don't have an agreement on a contract yet, and Parsons wants to trade. Everybody wants to trade if they don't get what they want. Terry McLaurin in Washington is the big news also. He wants to get out of Washington because they're not going to pay him DK Metcalf money. But the deal with Parsons is that Jerry's just getting, I think, tired of writing blank checks, even though he's done it to CeeDee Lamb. He's done it to Dak Prescott. And I think he has buyer's remorse. And I don't think he wants to go down that road again because Michael Parsons is the best player they have on defense, but maybe he doesn't value that as much. I'm not really sure. But the Cowboys are run very strangely. And I think they can get over 8.5 wins this year as their win total. I think they can do that. But that's a division where basically they've got 2 teams in front of them that are going to be difficult to deal with, and they have to play them 4 times, and that's Philadelphia and Washington. I looked at Philadelphia's schedule. It is so damn hard, but they are so good that all they have to do is stay healthy, and I think they'll be fine. But Washington is going to be very difficult to deal with, I think, with Jaden Daniels. Another year, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I've got him as one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. I don't care what you say. Pat Mahomes, yes. Josh Allen, yes. And right after that, for me, it's Jaden Daniels. It's Jaden Daniels. And I
put Joe Burrow up there as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so put Jaden Daniels at 4.
Well, I mean, I don't have to be in any particular order.
Okay, let me just say there's 5 that and you can throw. You absolutely have to throw him in there. And I love Jared. I
think Joe Burrow is the most fundamentally sound quarterback in the league.
Joe Burrow is a spectacular quarterback. You've got. I guess you haven't watched that series on.
I don't have Netflix.
Yeah, well, I think you'd enjoy it immensely.
I just don't have time to sit down. I don't have the patience to sit down and watch a damn show.
What do you do at night from 7 o'clock?
I have stuff going on, JC. I'm a busy man. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got like 2 computer screens going on here, a Titan or text line. It's hard to do this. I want you to host the program one day.
It's hard to do this.
Do you think you could host the show?
You don't have to, Kimmy, you don't have to make it hard. You're not splitting the atom, okay?
I'm not making it hard. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I have to look at everything, figure out what to ask. I want you to host the program one day, JC. Can you do it?
Yeah, I'll do it for you, QB.
I can't wait to watch that.
I can fall asleep and do it, but whatever, QB. Just tell me who to read. I'm not worried.
No. See, you do it on. They don't. I don't tell you. I can send you the reads.
No. I mean the sponsors. We've got multiple sponsors.
I know, but I'll give you the sheet, and I want you to be able to ask Facebook questions, YouTube questions.
I didn't know
text line questions, and do the reads and do the damn show.
Well, QB, just remember one thing. Here's what I'm going to say to you, as your 3 times a week co-guest or whatever.
Don't give me this. I did this at TV 20.
Your name is on the
I know.
Okay.
Right. But I have to have people sit in.
That.
I have to have people sit in and do it. Why can't you sit in and do it?
Why can't I? Oh, I can. The question is why.
I tried to give my man Jay Kidd. He's a young, aspiring podcast guy, trying to give him a little experience.
I just want to know how many people in this fantastic PodUp with Matthews in the Morning sales team is out there. I mean, all these sponsors you have to remember, QB. My goodness.
Look, I don't have anything to do with that. I just turn the show on and do it.
Hey, they're paying for you. I
want you to host it, though. I want you to host it, JC.
They're paying for you, QB.
Everybody wants you to host it. Oh, my God. That'd be great.
I can handle it. I can handle it, QB. I can handle it. I can. All right,
JC, we're going to get you out of here so you can go lift.
I am going to the gym, man. 3 days off, my body feels like it's dying. I have to get in that gym. So, absolutely got to get in there. I went to the beach this weekend.
There's nothing worse than going to the beach.
Oh, I loved it. I had a great time. Played golf at Marsh Creek, and then we went to Oasis. Then we went to Hurricanes, and then we went out on the beach and sat under the umbrellas and tents. I love it out there. I love it. But, you know, it can wear you out, man. It can wear you out. Not to mention you got to drive.
Yeah. Well, it's very boring to me. I can handle the beach for about 25 minutes and I'm ready to go. All right, JC, have a good day squatting and power cleaning. That's JC joins us on the Titan Number Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tent. We come back, we'll actually talk about the Gators with Scott Carter, who I believe has been out to some practices. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union,
International Diamond Center,
Meldon Law, QC Kinetics, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Linderos Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Signs, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
What's up, everyone? I'm Mike Pouncey, and this is my twin brother, Marquise Pouncey, and this is Life After Football.
Let's go. We are the owners of Tropical Distillery, and JF Hayden's is our liqueur brand.
We have 5 different flavors: a mango, a lychee, an espresso, citrus, and key lime pie. We pride ourselves on not only being a Florida-made brand, but also a cocktail solution. With that being said, cheers,
And go Gators.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet, complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
Coach, you know, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You know, you won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, 100% agave, Los Landeros tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean head beer coach, 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope. Los Landeros tequila, smooth enough to drink neat and bold enough to elevate a cocktail.
1966 lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Landeros tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Landeros.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Gallo Car Wash is locally owned by UF alum and the only car wash that provides NIL opportunities to Gator athletes. Join our membership and see why Gators hate love bugs. Let's go back to the Titan Tomorrow hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. We're joined by Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Shane. Doing well, man. Less than a month now to go. So looking forward to getting there to August 30th.
All right, so we're about 5 days into practice. I think the Gators go full gear today. They'll scrimmage this Saturday coming up. You've been to a couple of practices. I think they had a Florida Victorious. If you're a member of the Florida Victorious group, you could go out there and watch practice on Saturday. What have you seen? Anybody stood out to you? I mean, it's in shorts. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean they did have, they were in shells the other day, helmet and some pads, and still, not full go. But first of all, I mean everybody wants to know, like, DJ was out there on Saturday in the Swamp, and I didn't know what to expect from him, but he did more than he had been doing up to that point. He participated in drills, and he came out and started soft tossing, and the trainer was keeping a really close eye on him, and seeing how he was doing, and he progressed from there. And by the end of it, he wasn't in full drills, but he was participating in the quarterback drills and throwing the ball and doing some light movements. So that's a good sign that I think he's making progress there in the right direction. Or of course, Harrison Bailey and Tramel Jones got most of the work, and Tramel Jones throws a nice ball. I will say that. If he has a nice arm. He's got some zip on the ball, so I do think that the quarterback position, especially with DJ healthy, is going to be in pretty good shape. If they can get him back to 100%. But from there, I'm always just watching individual guys. Tavares Brown, the defensive lineman, we haven't seen much of him. Obviously, he came in late in camp last year, a transfer from a junior college in Kansas, and physically, he looks like he's going to be able to contribute. He made some flash plays in the drills that I was watching, and so that's a promising sign because we all know defensive line, is a position where they could use some playmakers and depth, especially on the interior. And that's what I'm talking about. I think the outside with Gums and Sapp, those guys are primed to do what we expect. They both look pretty good physically right now, so. But that's just kind of my initial impressions from what I saw Saturday. I was like everybody else, Shane, keep a close eye on DJ just to see how he was moving, and I thought he was better than expected in my eyes.
Yeah, and I think I heard they just kept him in individual stuff, routes on air, 7-on-7, nothing team wise, which is a good thing for right now till he feels a little bit better. Um, I've heard some stuff about the kid, the defensive lineman from Baylor, that they feel like he can possibly make an impact. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Brendan Bat. Ron Roberts talked him up the other day when we talked to Ron Roberts. Of course, Roberts was at Baylor when they were recruiting him, and he left shortly after. So he didn't really coach him, but he's very familiar with him. And, you look at the guy again, he's kind of like Brown, physically gifted when you look at him, maybe even more so just from a athletic standpoint. I think both of those guys stack up very well with like a guy like Cam Jackson or Caleb Banks when you just look at them physically. So they've got the big bodies, the kind of what you're looking for out of a defensive lineman. I didn't, I wasn't watching him close the other day, but I know he was holding his own from when I saw him. But yeah, he's a player that the door's open for opportunity for him. I mean, they brought him in obviously for a reason after DeAndre Robinson got poached by North Carolina. They were looking for a body there, and they had some, contact with him in the past, and they got him to come to Florida. And I think he's got a chance to be a contributor if he can find a spot in the rotation.
Text here on the Titan MR text line from Jackson in Leesburg, Virginia. Scott, if we had to play this week, who would be the starting quarterback in your opinion?
I think they'd probably go with Harrison Bailey if they had to play this week.
So do you think, I mean, I personally think, and again, Scott, you watch practice a little bit more than I do. But if DJ can't go, I think they have to play for Harrison Bailey. I think he's a pretty good player.
I mean, that's why he's here. I mean, they brought in a veteran like him to provide a security blanket in case DJ does get hurt or has to leave a game. So, he's the guy I think right now. Trammell obviously has a good arm, like I talked earlier. I think he's a guy that if DJ was unavailable and all they had were Bailey and Trammell, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised for Trammell to get some serious look if he keeps progressing. But as of right now, the question, if they were to have to play tomorrow, Harrison Bailey, I think, is that guy. And Harrison, I saw he made a nice touchdown throw the other day, I think, to Aiden Mizell. He missed a couple. I mean, he looks to me like a guy who knows what he's doing, but he's still, I'm sure, learning and absorbing some of the things that a new player to a new team does, still trying to work out some chemistry with the receivers. But yeah, he's played a lot, and he was MVP in the last game he played, the Sun Bowl at Louisville.
Baron 71 on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Phone, says he's heard Trayon Webb looks healthy. Who does Scott envision running back 3 or RB3 being to start the year?
I don't know if you're going to need too much of a running back 3, to be honest with you. If Ball and Jacoby Jackson are healthy. I mean, Katie Daniels is still there. I would expect him to be in the mix. And, I know they brought in a couple of young guys, but I don't know. I don't see that being a huge concern. I don't have my roster right in front of me, but I'll go with Katie Daniels right now since he's got a little experience and has been around in the game in the playbook some.
Yeah, so the running back room is going to be interesting because, as you just mentioned, Jacoby Jackson, Ball, Trayon Webb, Katie Daniels, who I love. Duke Clark, I think, is a really talented kid who can do a lot of things out of the
Yep.
backfield. I mean,
He's got some attention this during camp for just how much muscle he's put on since
yeah,
he's got here. So, he's obviously a guy who's working hard and looking for playing time. And again, to me, you can never have too many running backs, man. I mean,
yeah.
because those guys are going to get banged up in the course of a season. So, but I do really like those top two with Ball and Jackson.
Ray on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, "Is it possible there's some kind of conspiracy surrounding DJ Lagway injuries?" No,
Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm not too much of a conspiracy theorist in sports or politics. So I don't think there's any conspiracy there. I think
no.
DJ is just a guy who, Shane, you play, you know how it is. You get one injury and sometimes you compensate when you return to action and it leads to another one. I think he's just a young athlete whose body is being tested at a level that he is far beyond anything in high school. He's just been a guy who's let his natural ability go out there and play, and now he's playing against the best in the country at this level. So I think he's just going through an adjustment period. But I do, like I said earlier, I think he was a little ahead of schedule and what I expected on Saturday. Hopefully that will remain the trajectory. But I don't think Billy Napier's trying to pull a quick one on anybody.
No,
They
no,
got Long Island U. I mean, to be honest with you, if DJ Lagway was unavailable in the opener, the Gators and their fans should not worry at all.
no,
If they
because
if
what,
they if they can't beat Long Island U, you and me, we're in trouble.
right. But from a young quarterback standpoint, which is the hardest position in all of sports to play, he needs reps.
He does
And
need
in the
reps.
way these coaches grind, they want him getting reps. Trust me. I've said it multiple times. I think he needs to quit doing all the crazy stuff in the weight room. I really do. I think he needs to get down to about 230 and just do very lightweight stuff here and there.
Yeah.
He's big enough or too big in my opinion. And honestly, sometimes when you train too much, it causes injury. Just my 2 cents. I'm no expert, but that's if I was him, I'd get down to 230 and quit doing power cleans and all that stuff. He don't need to do any of that.
Yeah. No,
All he
that's
needs to do is throw the damn football.
advice. I
He's big
agree with
enough. He
you.
can run. We don't need to see how strong he is in the weight room, personally. Here's a text. Actually, this isn't a text. This is a question for me. It's Aaron Gates, right? Coming back from the knee injury.
Mhm.
And he's not wearing a brace. He's not doing anything. It's been like 8 months. That is remarkable to me.
Yeah, it's just another sign of where modern rehabilitation is compared to even 10, 12, 15 years ago. These guys are able to get back so quick. And, um, he was out there. I was watching him. He looked like he had not been out. Now, on the flip side, that Jameer Grimsley was also out there. Now, he was still wearing a brace, wearing a black jersey, and he was trying to run some defensive back drills. And I saw him get beat a couple of times, and you could tell he's not back to 100%. But I think Gates is back to a point where they feel pretty comfortable with him being able to at least contribute something at the start of the season. So, and he was really a guy who I thought was coming along developing nicely last year before he got hurt late in the season with that knee. So, but yeah, Shane, I mean, gosh, used to you had an injury like that. I mean, you're looking at a year to get back on the field, and then maybe a few more months before you're back to full speed. But the technology, I mean, you've been through that building over there. I mean, if you were hurt and you want to get back on the field, everything is there for you to do it at the quickest possible route if you're committed. So Aaron Gates, probably a good testament to him that he's been working hard and able to even get in the conversation 8 months after the injury.
I think the craziest thing from a nutritional standpoint that's crazy over there is Scott and I can both walk by if we're on the team, we walk by the nutritional area, and he has a protein shake that's for his body style.
Yeah.
And then they make a protein shake for my body style.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts. It is
It
crazy.
is. It is. I mean, a lot different than just grabbing a Snickers bar and running out playing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's no question about that. It's bizarre to me. Here's a text on the Titan MR text line from William. He wants to know, who is Jake Slaughter's backup?
I was watching the other day. It looks like Jason Zamadello was taking most of the second reps. You remember him? He was a highly recruited guy coming out of high school, 5-star, ended up at USC, left there, came here, didn't play last year. Watching him the other day, what stuck out immediately, he's not very tall. I think he's only about 6'2.5", right under 6'3". But man, his trunk, Shane, is so thick, and he was able to move his legs and feet pretty quick. So he definitely looks like a guy who is a center who would be hard to, unplant from the ground once he gets set there. So, obviously we haven't seen him in action, so I'm sure they don't want to have to use him too much. He's still learning the position. I think he was more of an interior guy before they moved him over to center. So, but that's who was working behind Slaughter. I think Hayden Clem was also taking reps there, walk on. So right now, that's who it looks like.
Here's Joseph in Nashville, Tennessee on the Titan MR text line. I've noticed Billy has not been wearing black at practice. Have any of the media guys asked him about this?
I don't think we've asked him. I did definitely notice that the other day. I was looking at my binoculars. I was watching up from the press box to stay out of the sun. Plus, you can see everything up there so much better. And I was scanning the field, and there's Billy in his all white. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I've ever seen Billy wear all white. But at noon in 95-degree heat, I'd be out there in all white and no shirt if I could. So, it was hot out there. But yeah, I don't, maybe somebody will ask him about that because I know fans have mentioned that a lot over the years, and I don't know. I don't know why he wears black. I'm guessing maybe to set the tone.
Well, a lot of coaches, like I tell everybody, Alabama's coaching staff wears black. I mean, it's just Texas A&M's wears black. I mean, that's just part of it. I mean, I don't give a damn. Todd Golden wore black and he won the damn national title.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I don't really care about either
Yeah,
way. I just know as me, if I'm out there, I'm not wearing black because I know black draws heat. And
it's way too high. It's probably why, because I was going to ask you, I mean, obviously you have the practice schedule. Is it very similar to what it's been in the past? I mean, the heat this year is totally different than it's ever been across the country. Have they tweaked? Have they given more breaks? Have they tried to practice earlier in the morning before classes start here in a couple of weeks? Have they tweaked the schedule at all because of the heat?
I mean, I know they did some more maybe indoor stuff in the practice facility the first day. I'm sure they're staying on top of it, with staying hydrated and stuff like that. But I haven't seen any major changes. But you're right, it has been hot. But I think, the other day going at noon out there in the swamp, and they went a good 2 hours, maybe a little less than I've seen some of those practices go. So maybe they trimmed a little time off just to help them kind of condition to the heat. But man, it has been hot, and it's Florida. I mean, it's just part of it every year, but it's hotter everywhere right now. But I haven't seen anything that has caught my eye, Shane.
Here's a text on the Titan MR text line from Gary. Gary wants to know, do you think Ben Hanks' kid gets on the field this year?
Well, he has a chance. I mean, DJ Johnson was sideline right now. He was in a black jersey, not practicing on Saturday. I don't know what the extent of that is or what the timetable is for him to get back on the field. So, Ben Hanks the third, that's going to give him some added reps. They're looking, obviously, I think, the ideal scenario is Moore and Johnson to open as the starting corners, and Hanks and Stubbs and some of those young guys as depth. But, we'll see. I mean, I think the door is there for him to crack and to get on the field if he can, especially with Johnson sideline right now. That's what it's all about, taking advantage of those opportunities, no matter how you get them.
The more I think about it, Scott, and it's crazy. I mean, it's great the amount of talent we have at the skill positions. I think we can all say this is Billy's best team. But when you look at the running back room and the receiver room, that's kind of been the whole talk off season, right?
Yep.
That's just a spring game. There's some dudes that ain't going to play. Let's be honest, right?
I
There's
mean,
going to be some guys that end up transferring. Hope not, but my goodness, I'm trying to think of like what guys are not going to see the field in those positions, and it's because I like them all, but you can't play them all.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly going to be some guys who came in highly recruited that might not crack the rotation in year one, and I think that goes back to where when you start talking about situations like that and managing your roster, that's where I think Billy has done a really good job the last couple of years building a kind of a program where you can keep more guys in some other places, and I think he's proven that. So we'll see how it plays out with some of those guys if they don't get on the field. When a guy transfers these days, it never surprises me, but I have been surprised that they've kept some guys around. So we'll see. And in the NIL era, also, we still don't know exactly what contracts these guys are signing. So a guy like Ben Hanks, maybe he signed a 3-year deal. You just don't know until this
Good
becomes more
point.
public. So he may not have an option to transfer unless he wants to pay back. And even then, as this new system moves forward, eventually these contracts will stabilize some of that, and players will have to realize, look, you may not play, but I signed a contract and I'm committed to this, and that's the way the real world works in pro sports.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Large Fry has an interesting question on YouTube brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Any of the legacies have a chance to contribute this year, like Wright and Bullard? I think he's talking about Lawrence Wright and Thaddeus Bullard's kid. I don't think they'll play. I think they're both walk-ons, if I'm not mistaken. The only legacy kid, in my opinion, and again, I haven't watched practice, I haven't been in meetings, I haven't talked to coaches that has a chance to play this year is Ben Hanks III.
Yeah, I mean, he would be the one on top of my list too. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Lawrence Wright's kid transferred over to FAMU.
Oh, did he?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so I don't think he's in play, but they do have several legacy players. You saw Mike Peterson's son join the team over the weekend. He eventually
It was
started
kind of
out.
interesting that he came.
Yeah, he started out at Arkansas State, so I don't know if he just wanted to play here, didn't want to go out there, and got out there, didn't like it. I don't know the story there yet, but he's here.
It could be one of those deals where he wants to be back home
Yeah,
at the University of Florida, where his dad played, where his dad coaches, and graduate from the University of Florida goes a lot farther than Arkansas State.
yeah, I totally agree. You know what? If he never plays it down for the Gators and was to go through school and get his degree and experience being around the team with his dad, uh, come
Yeah,
on,
it's a
man.
great experience. It's a great
That's what they
experience.
call, isn't that's kind of like that commercial priceless, right? You
Yeah,
can't
I
have
mean,
those experiences.
my kid went through that for 2 or 3 years and loved it,
Yeah,
and he graduated and is having a great career. What he graduated in. So,
yeah.
gosh, there was one more question that somebody had, and I can't find it now because it went away, but I guess we'll get to it at some point. Oh, no, here it is right here. It's a Titan MR text line from Rick in Jupiter. We'll get you out here after this, Scott. He says, Shane, the fan base is on fire after watching all those amazing throws by Lagway. I'm concerned about the DBs, though, as those wide receivers look like they beat the DBs so bad they weren't even in the video. I saw some of the throws on the go routes. It's in 101s or routes on air, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, I'm 55, have not picked up a football in 5 or 6 years. I could go make those throws. Okay. Let's and again, if it's 101s and the DBs are getting beat, there's no pass rush either, right? So
Yeah, there's a lot of elements erased in those
yeah,
situations. I mean,
it's not football.
the decision making by the quarterback is simplified. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about any coverage or any drop back linebackers or safeties. He just knows that, hey, I got a guy running by the quarterback. As long as I can get the ball there, I'm good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
101s, sorry to interrupt you, like 101s when the quarterbacks are throwing are so the advantage is so much to the offense, it's crazy.
yeah.
Because the defender has no help, he has no pass rush, he has nothing.
No, you're right. And it's good that he's making those throws, that they're on time and on target.
Correct.
But in terms of actual, to interpret that as a significant development at this point in camp, don't put too much into it. I just think I'm not, I wouldn't be too worried about the corners or defensive backs right now. Again, because it wasn't real defense.
Very true. Scott, good stuff as always. Got any good articles coming up that people can read on floridagators.com?
I put one out on SAP today. Just, I think Tyreek Sapp, you know how your best players, they have to be your best players for your team to capitalize. I think if I had three guys who I think it's important to have really good years this year, like we expect, I put Tyreek Sapp right there. Obviously DJ Lagway, and I think I think George Gums is another one of those guys. I think there's two edge rushers can help the defense in so many ways if they live up to their billing this year. So I wrote about him, and I'll be writing, stuff all week just as I get more into it and as they progress in camp. I'm one of those people, the first 5 days of camp, I don't put too much stock. You just want everybody to stay healthy, see who's out there, who's not. But now it gets a little more serious when they get their pads on and they dive deeper into what they're really working towards. So I'm looking forward to Saturday's scrimmage as a first real indicator of, maybe the depth chart, who's doing what, who's playing well, and we'll see. But it's a good time of year because I do think the optimism around the program right now is at a recent high. So that's good.
I think those edge rushers, they are the key to having a great season, in my opinion. I like that. And I also like what Scott does on Twitter. You can follow him at Gator Scott. He puts a player up there with no number, and you got to figure out who the hell it is.
I'll do that today.
That's great. Scott, good stuff as always. Appreciate your time, my friend.
All right, see you, Shane.
That's Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. Join us on the Titan More hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Injuries occur whenever and however, and it's never convenient. For sprains, strains, and minor fractures, UF Health Orthocare makes it convenient for you. 7 days a week, including evenings. Walk-ins are welcome. That's UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We'll be here tomorrow, folks. Appreciate you joining us. Have a great day.